All right. Welcome, everybody, to day one of Wimbledon. We're here. Short and sweet, the grass season. We had 3 weeks of grass court, or kind of 4 weeks, really, of grass court preparations. And now it's the big one. And it's going to be interesting. On the women's side, very open. I don't know if there's one player you can confidently pick to win, because it's either a tough draw, or it's somebody who hasn't won a slam before, or it's an outsider who is always a risk. So, men's side of things, I think it's Sinner, Alcaraz, maybe Draper, Djokovic, Fritz, probably, even though some of them have their own troubles. But here we go. Wimbledon has arrived. Strawberries and cream, Pims. By the way, chat, apparently, unlike Wimbledon in previous decades, is really hot today. And there might be a heat rule, which is kind of wild. Who the hell thought that was going to happen? Heat rule day one. Okay, yeah. Apparently it's like hot very hot at Wimbledon today. So, which means there's no, it's not the same as Australian Open where they like delete, stop things. But it is, they have a break after the second set for the ladies, a 10-minute break, forced break to stop. I think it's between the hours of 2 and 5 is when it's going to be the hottest. So they're going to try, that's when the heat rule is in effect. And then they also do on the men's side of things between the third and fourth sets, I think. So, and the first and the second and third. So I think they have a couple for the men because they play 5 sets. But yeah, it's, the next 2 days are going to be super hot. And then I think it's going to rain on the Thursday, Friday. So it's going to go from super hot to rain by the end of the week. So we'll see what happens. But here we go, chat. We're watching Jabeur first. Plenty of stuff going on. We've got Alcaraz coming up later. Sabalenka, Raducanu, Fonseca. I think Zverev's playing today. Fritz is playing. Osaka's playing. I mean, there's so much. Runa's playing. I'm sure I'm missing so many players. But yeah, there's a lot. There's not much going on today. Like it's not as crazy as what tomorrow's going to be. But it's still pretty big. I mean, it's the first day of a slam. It's always crazy. And I'll tell you, chat, I love Monday starts of slams. After the French Open and Australian Open, it was so nice having nothing on Sunday. Did anyone else have that? Like I feel like just having that 1 day gap between last week, which was hectic, and this week, which is going to be hectic. It was just so nice to have that not like it was almost like Wimbledon Eve where you could it's like Christmas, right? You get excited. Whereas I tell you, the French Open and the Australian Open, the day before the first day, we're watching tournaments of the other week, the other one. So it was so nice to just have that 1 day break where it was like, all right, now what? Wimbledon, okay, let's get ready. And it was just so it built the excitement way more, I reckon. And it was just nice to have a day of nothing. Because I think the French Open, we watched Djokovic win 100 titles, then we watched day one, right? Australian Open, we watched blah, blah, blah up until day. It was crazy. So it's so nice to have a day. Wimbledon's doing it right. But of course, US Open's going to have a Sunday start as well. So we'll see what that feels like. But it's just so nice. Nice to have a Monday start. Tomova's going to serve first in this one. Like I said, we've got so much going on today. Day one, day two tomorrow, and then day three is second round. So we don't have that 3 days of first rounds where we don't know who's playing when, and we know that whoever's playing today will be playing Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, possibly Tuesday. And then tomorrow, it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday is the way that every second day they play. So it's not like the first 2 days where we're like, who's playing tomorrow? Who's playing next week? All right. Wimbledon's here. Wimbledon is here. Wimbledon is here. All right. Who you got winning this one, chat? I'm going to go with Ons. We haven't watched much Ons lately. So, yeah. Let's see how she looks. Tomova to serve. Let's see how Ons starts. Skip a couple of matches if you're feeling overwhelmed. This is a long tournament. Oh, no, don't worry. The thing is, I feel like the French Open was perfect. The way that it was paced was really good. But luckily for Wimbledon, we don't have, first of all, it's only 14 days, so we've got 1 day less. But also, they don't have night sessions, so we don't have. I won't have any late nights. I think the latest I'm going to have is 8 a.m. my time, and that's if it goes into the night. Goes into the they close the roof and play at night. Whereas the French Open's always brutal because the night sessions start at 6 a.m. my time, and it could go until 11. But the French Open, I feel like I got through that pretty easily, considering the the schedule. All right, Tomova. Serving and losing the first point, love 15. My team's locked in. Yeah, my team is crazy. I had too many players. My team is crazy. I'll tell you who my team is in a second. As that goes in the forehand to Tomova. Backing it from Jabeur in the net, and it's love 15-0. Is Roger Federer playing this year? No, not this year. He decided not to play this year. So my team is Alcaraz, Djokovic, Sinner, Fritz, Sabalenka, Keys, Raducanu, Pegula. On the bench, I've got Popyrin and Rublev. And then the players that didn't even make the cut. Krejcikova, Humbert, Mickelson, Muller, Jarry, Pirikar. So, my team is crazy. I'm just hoping that, I just hope that my semi-final lineups that I picked for, in my predictions. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. As Jabeur gets 15-30. As long as I get my semi-final picks right, I should be doing pretty well. Who did I pick for the ladies? I picked Sabalenka versus... It wasn't Keys, because Keys is in the same section. Who was it? Sabalenka Palini. Sabalenka Palini. And Raducanu Pegula. Man, I should have put Palini in the team. Anyways, Tomova goes down the line at the back end of Ons. Onto the net. 30-all. But yeah, we've got a couple of hours to Sabalenka start. Center court doesn't start till 1:30 for center court, 1 for court 1. Everyone's wearing white as Wimbledon I was going to say demands, but they don't really demand it. It's just kind of is. It just is. It's accepted, right? We just go, hey, yeah, everyone wears white. That's just it's the only tournament in the world that enforce a dress code. But it's also the oldest and the most traditional. As we're back in now from Tomova into the slice of Ons. Forehand from Tomova into the forehand Jabeur on the stretch. Tomova goes wide, and we've got a break point first game, 30-40. Does scorching heat like this cause less bounces? It's definitely going to dry the grass out, if that's what you mean. It's definitely going to dry up the grass, which could keep the ball from bouncing. But then again, you know what? Again, I'm no grass expert. I'm no horticulturalist, right? I don't even have a garden or a pot plant. But I would suggest, and this is my total guess, so anyone who has a garden, let me know, as we get a forehand now to the back end of Tomova, into the forehand of Ons, as Tomova forehand to the back end of Jabeur, sliced, again to the forehand of Tomova, into the forehand of Ons, but it goes out by Tomova. By the way, no lines people. No lines people here. I'm not cheering for that. It's a break. Ons breaks 1 love. No lines people, which is the first time at Wimbledon ever. They got rid of them. So automatic line calls. So in my head, right, if it's really hot, the grass will dry up, which will make the courts hard, which I would think would make the ball bounce higher, right? Like if the courts if the soil dries up and gets crumbly like a clay court, wouldn't that mean the ball would bounce higher? Because if the court's wet, you would think the ball would skid more, right? But if the court's dry, it should bounce more, right? I mean, that seems like... I don't know. I'm no expert. I'm just... What do you reckon? Does that make sense? So, the players that play on clay might actually not do too bad on the first two. Oh, by the way, I mean, the court aside, the players that like playing in the heat are going to be the better players in here. It's not so much the surface. It's going to be the physical part, I think. The heat's going to take the physical Because there's going to be a lot of players that aren't used to playing in this kind of heat, because it's not very common in the UK to have this kind of heat, you know? As Ons hits backhand down the line, but it's long and it's 15-0. Pretty sure I've heard them talk about that during the matches. Yeah, I would have thought that, like, the hotter it is, the drier the courts, the higher the bounce. Like Queen's Club, for example. It was pretty warm there and it was pretty worn. I know Alcaraz has won Queen's Club before, and I'm not saying it because the ball bounced higher and whatever, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out over the next couple of days if the courts are playing any different because of the heat. 15:30. As we're back in now from Tomova, Jabeur with a volley, but it's long. 15:40 to get back the break. Do they close the roof and the aircon? Do they have the aircon with the roof? See, that's the thing as well. I don't know if they're going to have if the heat rule includes shutting the roof, because Australian Open, the heat rule is the only thing in Australia. That's the only thing we know about the heat rule, right? Is the Australian Open way they do it. Is it a backhand now to the forehand of Tomova? Jabeur down the line to the forehand of Tomova. Jabeur with a forehand again, down the line. That's a great shot. Tomova slices it back though. There's a forehand now from Jabeur down the middle. Winner, 30-40. So this is what it says on the website. This is the heat rule, right? The heat rule will apply to all singles events at the qualifying and main draw of the championships. It allows a 10-minute break when the wet bulb globe temperature, which I think is like the temperature in the shade, is above 30 degrees, which it will be today. It applies to all matches, including those which have already started. So it doesn't just, it goes whenever it goes, right? Only one player participating in the match needs to request a break for the rule to be implemented. So if both players don't care about the heat, they can just keep playing. But if one player's like, it's too hot, I need a 10-minute break, they're going to leave. Break back, 1-1. And then it says here, the rule will apply after the second set of a best-of-3 match or after the third set of a best-of-5 match. And the rule is a 10-minute break. Where is it? Players may leave the court for a break. They can't get coaching or medical treatment when they're leaving the court, though. That's a whole different thing. It says here, I think I read that. Here we go. It allows a 10-minute break. Yeah, 10-minute break at the end of the second set for the ladies, end of the third set for the men. If it goes to a fourth or a third for the, if it's a straight sets match, they don't, they just leave. But it's between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. So it's not right now. It's in 3 hours. So that is the situation. I don't know if they close the roof, because remember, Wimbledon's roof is not the same as the Australian Open. Australian Open roof is like a bunker, right? It's like a big, thick, chunky roof that shuts and it basically turns it into an indoor center. Wimbledon doesn't have an indoor. It's not really an indoor thing. It's kind of it's an opaque roof. If the sun's beating down on the roof, it's going to probably heat up. It's going to be like a greenhouse. It's probably going to be sweaty and disgusting if they open the roof, if they close the roof at Wimbledon. So I don't know. I don't know if they close the roof on center courts if it's too hot, because I don't know if the aircon will work. I don't know if the aircon will make a difference. It might just make it worse, having it humid. So I don't know. We'll find out, though, because we're going to be watching, obviously, later. So I'm not sure if part of the heat rule is closing the roof, because it's not the same as Australian Open, right? Australian Open have like I said, like you close the roof, it's like in the shade. 15-0. As Tomova serves again. We've had 2 breaks to start this match. Yeah, third set for the men. So if it goes to 4 sets for the dudes, it's going to be a they have a 10-minute break if requested. Both players might be like, nah, screw that, we're going to keep playing. But if one player wants a break, they both have to take the break. All right. 30-15. 30-15. There's always an increased slip risk when the roof is closed. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the humidity would be insane. So I'm not, we'll find out. I'm not sure. Because this is a unique situation. It doesn't get this hot in London or in the UK ever. So we're all learning together. It'd be used to change momentum in matches. I mean, let's not get skeptical. And I know Runer's playing today, so you think I know you Mailcat, you've got Runer. I know Runer's playing today, so you're worried about him. But I think if you're down 2-1 and you want a 10-minute break because it's too hot, you're allowed to have that break. I don't think it's going to get exploited. Because it's fair. It can't get exploited when it's a fair rule. It's like a medical timeout. You can have a medical timeout if the doctor says you're allowed. You can't just have a medical timeout because you feel like it. That's not how the medical timeouts you get assessed before you're allowed to take a timeout. They don't just go, "Oh, I'm feeling sick," and the doctor's like, "No, you look fine." They're not going to give you a medical timeout unless you're sick or unless you need it, right? They don't just go, "Oh yeah, you need you need that." Obviously, players can do whatever they want, to pretend or whatever. If you want to go down that, if you think that's what happens, but not many. I don't feel like anyone's really going to exploit it today because it's so damn hot that if you're down 2-1, you probably need a 10-minute break because it's going to be sweaty and hot going forward. And plus, both can implement it. So if you're up 2-1, you could also say, "Yeah, I want a 10-minute break because it's too hot." It doesn't mean that the player losing is always going to take the break. It's not always the player that's losing that gets to decide. Maybe the player that's losing is like, "No, I want to keep going because this heat is affecting." What happens if it's a third set tiebreak and the guy that wins the tiebreak is cramping and then he gets a 10-minute break after 2-1 up? I mean, if you're down 2-1, you probably, and the other guy's cramping, you want to keep going, right? So I don't think anyone's going to exploit it. I think it is what it is. It's the rule, and I don't think we should be crying before anyone has even tried the rule. By the way, Runer, if he does down 2-1, should damn well take that break, Mailcat, because I know you're definitely asking on his behalf. And he's playing in the middle of the afternoon. If he's down 2-1 against Jarry, which is a strong possibility because Jarry's dangerous, he should take the break. He should take a 10-minute break, even if he doesn't need it. Because it's there to be used if you want it. All right, 15 love. Ostapenko's already gone nuts. What, winning or getting angry? Kim Burrell's thoughts. She's taken on Vekic, and that sucks. A lot of Aussies in action today as well, which I love, but also I'm scared because there's a lot of Aussies in action that are playing tough players. Like Vekic against Burrell, who Burrell is already down a break. All right, 15 all. Well, we've got Sabalenka coming up in about 2 hours, so hopefully after this match we'll get Sabalenka on. We've got Fonseca after that. We've got Alcaraz coming on, and then Raducanu later. And then tonight, or later tonight, later this afternoon, we've got a choice of couple matches. I don't know which one we watch, but I want to watch Osaka. But we've also got Fritz possibly against Pirika. But do I want to watch a 5-set match on day one? I don't know. Especially when the schedule comes out for tomorrow, it's going to be pretty crazy. Tomorrow's going to be really crazy. Tomorrow's going to be tough. Yeah, Fritz versus GMP might just be 4 tie breaks. So do we want to watch 4 tie? I mean, that might be over in 2 hours, though. He'll be an ace off, exactly. All right. 40-30 as Ons tries to hold. Forehand goes cross court in the forehand of Tomova. Slice backhand from Ons. Tomova backhand again to the slice of Ons. Into the backhand of Tomova as Ons goes again to the backhand of Tomova. Into the slice of Jabeur and Tomova backhand drop shot. Ons comes to the net but hits into the net. And it's deuce. All right. We get the deuce. There's a bit of slice from Ons. But it goes wide. All right. Break point for Tomova to get the 3-1 lead here. Chat, which player do you want to watch in the first round? Name the player that you want to watch first round. It doesn't have to be a match. It can just be a player. All right, advantage Tomova. Serve to the forehand of Tomova. Return goes into the backhand of Jabeur, who hits it in the net. There's the break, 3-1. Name the player. It might be a match or it might just be a random player. Maybe you just want to watch Djokovic. All right, Sabalenka, Raducanu. Let's keep it to today. Let's just keep it to today. What players do you want to watch or what matches do you want to watch today? Sport for choice. That is true. Yeah, just for today. We'll just do day one. Alcaraz, Raducanu, Sabalenka, Osaka. Okay, cool. All those players are on my radar. Carlos, Palini, Eala. Okay, they're tomorrow. We'll keep them in mind for tomorrow. We're definitely watching Eala Krejcikova. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Demonor, Fonseca, and Carlos. Joint? Now, Joint, I think, is playing tomorrow. I'm nervous for Joint because she's got a tough match. She's got to play Samson over first round. That sucks. Penko, well, she's playing right now. Alcaraz, Sabalenka, Osaka, Raducanu. Azarenka, okay. Everyone. 15 all. 15 all. Least? Okay. And to the backhand out from Tomova into the forehand of Jabeur. Tomova forehand to the backhand of Ons. There's Ons in the net. And it's 30-15. $30-15. As Tomova serves. Ah, 40-15. Include the scores between Penko and Cartel. I'll tell you the scores because I can just tell you the scores. Just ask me. It's 3-love Penko. Around the courts will kick on. It's just a little bit delayed because of it'll start. It'll show it here. Hopefully in the next couple of hours. 40-30. 40-30. Over the backhand. Into the slice backhand of Tomova. Hits it wide and it's deuce. Been watching The Professional. I don't know what that is. By the way, chat, yesterday I watched a couple of movies. I watched the movie The Gathering. I like Christina Ricci. She's great in other stuff. And she's the only good thing about that movie. The rest of it, garbage. It was terrible. It was a terrible movie. It was not good. I didn't understand it. The plot was horrible. Like I didn't understand the plot. The acting from it was not good. It was confusing as hell. I didn't know what it was. It wasn't even scary. Like it was supposed to be a horror thing. It wasn't even that hot. It wasn't scary. As that goes out by Jabeur advantage. Never seen it. Yeah, I'd never seen it either. But I saw it at the thrift, and I was like, hey, Christina Ricci in a horror movie. That sounds great. You know, she's great in other movies. It was confusing. And it's funny, chat, because like it's funny watching like a great actor and you can tell like when they're in a bad movie, sometimes it's not them. And you go, oh yeah, the script was really, really bad. Or the way they wanted to do the movie or the editing or whatever it was just like, oh, this movie was terrible. I'm like, I don't even understand it. It was called The Gathering and it was a horror movie. That's all I can remember. I watched the whole thing though. And I will put it in the storage. Addams Family is great. I'm trying to find the first one. I've only got the second one at the moment. Anyways, back in return, we're back to Deuce. And that goes out by Tomova and it's advantage Jabeur. I also watched Disturbia. That's a good movie. Say what you want about Shia LaBeouf, but he can act. That dude is... No, he's good. That's a great movie. It's creepy as hell as well. I was creepy at the end too. Anyways, advantage Jabeur. There's a 4 now from Tomova. That goes in, and we get back to Deuce. Back to Deuce. Ons was worst player. What do you mean? She made 2 finals of Wimbledon. What are you talking about, worst? She's pretty good, actually. Shia LaBeouf is my lookalike? Really? Interesting. All right, return goes into the backhand of Tomova. Backhand from Jabeur to the forehand of Tomova. Jabeur slice. Tomova with the forehand again. The backhand of Jabeur. As Tomova backhand on the stretch. To Jabeur slice again into the net. It's advantage Tomova. Advantage Tomova. Car crash scene at the beginning shocked me. Wait, in which movie? The backhand return to the backhand of Tomova. Drop shot from Jabeur is a winner, and it's back to Deuce. Oh, you mean it's in Disturbia? Yeah. It's also like I thought it was such an interesting way they didn't show his dad's body. They just showed his reaction to seeing it. And I thought that was so good. I was like, that's such an interesting way to, like, instead of being like, yep, car crash, it was like showing his reaction and backing away. I'm like, that's great. That's great. A great way to show it. A great way to not show it, but also imply what's going on, you know? Advantage Tomova. Also, the cover of that DVD is like iconic with the binoculars and stuff. Anyways, advantage Tomova. You've never seen The Professional? No, it's on my list of things to find, but I can't find it. I know, like, I referenced it with that everyone, but I haven't seen it. But it's on my list. It's on my list. It's on my list. All right, back to Deuce. This is a long-ass game. Back to Deuce. To serve into the forehand of Ons. The slice goes long, and it's advantage Tomova. All right. Advantage Tomova. As Ons returns into the forehand of Tomova. Tomova hits an inside out wide, and it's Deuce. Find yourself a proper 90s fun cam. Look for Hackers, Jolie at her best, and great soundtrack. Ooh, okay. I do love a good soundtrack. I've got a couple of 90s movies, or like early 2000s like internet movies, which are fun. Is it a 4 now from Jabeur? That's a great pickup, Ons. Advantage Ons to get back on serve. I watched Cellular the other day. I've got Firewall with Harrison Ford. I think I saw like one called The Net, which I think had Sandra Bullock. All those like early 2000s internet movies are so funny to watch back because it's like early internet technology, and like they were almost so worried. Back to Deuce. But yeah, I'll add that to my 1995 to like 2000, like all those internet movies when the internet was new. All right, back to Deuce. Long game, maybe a very important game. Svitolina's already at 4-1. Yeah, I'll give you some scores when we get through this game because there are a lot of matches going on. Backhand goes in the forehand to Tomova. Forehand from Ons is long and it's advantage Tomova. So like Medvedev's playing right now. We've got Lehechka, Tiafoe. On the women's side, we've got Vekic. We've got Penko, Svitolina as the big guns. And they're all winning, by the way. Vekic 4-love. Svitolina 4-1. Penko 4-1. Medvedev just started, 2-1. Lehechka's 3-2 down, but Tiafoe's up a break already, 2-love. So yeah, lots going on. There's a return, the double fault, and we get back to Deuce. So yeah, a lot of things happening. Is this tennis talk or movie talk? It's whatever we want it to be. It's tennis talk, but then it's with me, so it's also like half the channel is about tennis and half the channel is whatever we decide to talk about because I like a lot of things. We come here for tennis, but we also have other interests. As that goes long by Tomova and its advantage to Ons. By the way, speaking of tennis movies, watch Wimbledon. If you haven't seen the movie Wimbledon, go watch it. It's a classic. I've got that movie in my collection. In fact, I'll get the case. And I've got a poster of it, but I'll put it up behind me because that's hilarious. Anyways, 4 now from Jabeur to break back. Tomova's slice goes wide and Jabeur does break back. 3-2, we're on set. Classic. There we go. Classic. I don't have it on VHS. Why would I have it on VHS? I don't have a VHS player. DVDs. Did you have a nice day off yesterday? I did, actually. It was great. For Love Vekic, yep. It's funny listening to early stories of Wimby dealing with the Fonseca phenomenon. Listening to the early stories about Wimbledon dealing with the... Wait, what? I have no idea what you're talking about, Mike. Don't think anyone in the chat knows what you're talking about. Is it good? Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a classic tale of an underdog. If you like the underdog tales of movies. Have I watched Catwoman with Halle Berry? No. No. Should I? By the way, speaking of underdogs, Rockies won today. I know I'm not wearing the shirt, but Rockies won. We got the win. We beat the Dodgers. Wait, who do we play? No, the Brewers. We beat the Brewers. 19th win. We beat them in the 11th inning, so extra innings. All right. By the way, Jabeur is struggling with his heat. She is struggling. Already. We've only played 5 games. Ons is really struggling. She's got the towel around her neck, and I think the trainer's coming out. Ons is sick. This is not good. It's a hot day. It's an unusual hot day. You can't prepare for this because the last couple of weeks playing on grass, you would have been playing normal weather. And then to go play this, crazy. Bella, that's funny. It's crazy. All right. Super hot out there. By the way, if you are going to Wimbledon, make sure you wear a hat or something. Like, stay hydrated. Really, just like Swordfish Halle Berry? Gothic. I watched Gothica the other day for the first time. That's a great movie. She's great in that. She's great in she was in James Bond, right? She's great as Storm in X-Men as well. In all the X-Men movies. But yeah, she was great in Gothica. What did she win the Academy Award for? Can't remember. All right. Trainers on court for Ons. Monsters Ball. There you go. Is that something I should watch, or is that I've never seen it? All right, Jabeur getting tests because she is not feeling well. Wonderful movie. Okay, I'll have to see. I have to find it. I was trying to look for 28 Days Later today. I couldn't find it. Can't find that movie anywhere. All right, Ons is getting her medical time out to help with this the heat that she's dealing with. I mean, everyone's got to deal with it, but some players are going to have a better time than others. And Ons right now is not having a good time. She is not feeling well. People have got umbrellas. People have got hats. People have got fans. I mean, people are bringing all their stuff to the tennis today. It's going to be brutal today and tomorrow. No one's safe. Everybody's going to deal with this weather. And then it's supposed to rain later in the week. So it goes from hot to normal weather. Wasn't there a recent movie with the chick in Spider-Man? Oh, yeah. Challenges. You mean this movie here? Yeah. Yeah, something with Spider-Man and Wimbledon. It's just, or tennis movies and Wimbledon. Tennis movies and Spider-Man. It's just a thing. Tennis and Spider-Man are like it's connected somehow. Maybe a bit of rain on Wednesday, dry. But dry after that, yeah. I heard it. I saw it was supposed to rain on like Friday, Saturday too, right? When did I see? Yeah, it's supposed to rain on Saturday, Sunday as well. Friday's supposed to be hot again, but then it's on the weekend it's supposed to rain. Tom Holland might be the next James Bond. Yeah, I don't like that at all. James Bond's got to can't look like a teenager. Like, James Bond can't look like a teenager. That's the rule, right? He's got to at least look, unless they're doing like a James Bond origin story, but they can't, come on. James Bond has to look, I mean, Daniel Craig and Sean Connery, I mean, come on. You can't have him looking like, it's got to be convincing. Like, can he fight? Yeah, as Spider-Man with superpowers, but as a average dude in a suit, I don't know if it's convincing. I don't know if, didn't he do a movie? He did a movie already. Didn't he do that Uncharted, and people thought that was terrible? I haven't seen it. I love the games, though. Henry Cavill is James Bond. Yes. That's a James Bond. But apparently he's too old. They're only casting people under 30. Ons has left the court. Like Pierce Brosnan, right? I mean, they're all James Bond has to look at. He's got so look. Kind of a James Bond that looks 20. The guy from Kick-Ass? Yeah, he was in 28 Years Later, right? He might be all right. He could be good. All right, Ons has left the court for a medical timeout. It is hot out there today. It is a hot day for tennis. Now, in other matches, because there's so much going on, Medvedev's 3-3 against Bonzi. Tiafoe's up 3-1 against Mola. Penko's up 5-2. Svitolina's up 5-2. Vekic is up 5-love. And that's all for the big names. That's it for the big names. What if Krejcikova will retire tomorrow? I don't think Krejcikova will retire tomorrow. Unless she won't retire. If she retires before the match, then Eala is going to play a lucky loser on an outside court. So it only changes the opponent. It doesn't change. Eala doesn't get a free pass to the second round. You got to play the first round. Unless they play and then Krejcikova has to withdraw during the match and pull out during the match. That's different. Vekic not being talked about enough, so she will go far. I mean, yeah, maybe. Yeah, we're going to watch Alcaraz later. By the way, chat, apparently YouTube might not change back to the to your actual channel names in the chat. So if you are somebody who's regular in the chat, but your username is not the same as your channel name, I'm gonna be very confused. So it's gonna be like reading a whole bunch of people that I haven't met before. So you don't have to change usernames. You don't feel obliged. I'll figure it out. But apparently YouTube might not go back to the way it was. Even though people apparently don't like the usernames being shown. Yeah, you can change it in your settings. Yeah. Some channels look like this and other channels. Yeah, so what they've done is channels over 100,000 subscribers they're doing that. They're starting with those channels probably because they've got the most active chats, maybe. Or they're supposed to have the most active chats if you're over, got a certain amount of people on your channel. And then, but also I think it might be an Australian thing first, because I have seen a lot of Australian channels have it done. Like a few Australian channels that I watch have had it. It's been a thing for a bit. So I think it might be an Australian first, and then they're going to go to US and stuff. So stupid update. Yeah, I think they need to give the creators the option to have it one or the other. But I think they just decided to just go. I think they want to. I don't know why they're doing it, because they didn't explain it to me. But I think it's just to kind of avoid people from impersonating others. I think that's what it is. It's to stop people impersonating, because on Twitter that's a bad thing that happens, right? It's that people pretend like they're somebody else, and then they, or they make a parody account or whatever. So I think it's that. I think they're trying to eliminate that. At least that's what makes sense. Or they might just be doing it for no reason. But I don't know. But if they change it back, or they change it, I'll let you know if I hear anything. Do I still play tennis? Nope. I don't have the time. Yeah, we're watching Eala tomorrow. Ons is back on court, I think. We're back on serve here, 3-2. Super hot out there today. Also, the ball kids are wearing dark blue. That sucks. That sucks. So hopefully the ball kids are hydrated, because that's... The umpires are wearing long sleeves and long trousers, which sucks for them too, but the ball kids are wearing dark clothing in this heat. So hopefully they staying hydrated, because that's not good. That's dangerous. That could be dangerous. All right, back on serve, 3-2. Ons is back on court, I think. Have they showed? Yeah. She must be if Tomova's... What the hell? Nope, Ons has just got back on court. Now she's back on court. Here we go. 14 minutes since the last point was played. As that goes out in the return from Tomova, 15 love. As Ons serves a fault, second serve. As a return goes in the forehand of Tomova. Jabeur with a backhand slice. Tomova again to the backhand of Ons. Tomova slices it into the net. And it's 30 love. What's wrong with Ons? It's really hot out there, so it's just the weather, the heat. Now, if they do go to a 3-setter, it is going to be a heat rule in effect today because it's hot. So if they do end up going the distance, they will have a 10-minute forced, well, not forced break, but enforce a 10-minute break. For that reason, so that is the situation. 30-15. There's a fault from Jabeur, second serve. As we get a return into the forehand of Jabeur. Forehand now from Tomova to the backhand of Jabeur. Drop shot. Tomova comes to the net with a forehand. But Ons is there with a forehand in the net. Just a little too casual. 30-all. Chance for Tomova to break again. Please don't put scores in the chat. All right, 30-40, break point for Tomova to break again. As that goes the net. Well, it goes long from Jabeur, second serve. Yeah, Carreño Busta withdrew. As it backing down the line from Jabeur to the forehand of Tomova. Sliced into the forehand of Jabeur. Tomova can't get it. And Ons gets the deuce. Poor linesmen don't have a job to do anymore. Ha ha ha. I mean, it is... you're laughing, but it also is, yeah. It is unfortunate that a group of people lost their jobs. I don't think that's funny. Advantage Tomova. As Jabeur serves. The forehand Tomova. Return goes to forehand Jabeur. Jabeur hits it long, and it's 4-2 Tomova. She gets the break again. All right. 4-2. 4-2. Playing on grass makes me feel like a kid again. You got to play on grass as a kid? That's crazy. 4-2, second serve. As the return goes back into Tomova. Slice Jabeur is a drop shot. Tomova's going to get there, though. But hit it in the net. Love 15. Lehechka lost the first set. That's kind of crazy. By the way, we're starting to get some players winning the first set of their matches. Svitolina won the first set. Oh, probably. So did Bekic. Dillian won the first set against Lehechka. And Manarino just won the first set against O'Connell. And Basevaretti's about to win the first set against Tien. Capriva won the first set against Thompson. So that's interesting. There's a bit of slice there. Drop shot from Jabeur is too good, and it's 15. I love 30, sorry. Also, Chad, if you haven't checked out the predictions on the second channel, go check it out. Quick, go do it. I did so well at Wimbledon. Let's see if I can do it so well again. I did so good at Roland Garros. Let's see if I can do as well on this one. Go check it out. Also make your predictions so then I can laugh at you if you get them wrong. Instead of you just laughing at me the whole time. Love 40. Ons to get back on serve. Love 40. The picks were good, Cam? I think so. I think Wimbledon's way harder. I think Wimbledon's way harder to predict than Roland Garros. For a few reasons. One, because we don't have that much information to go off. I mean, the players that we all want to pick haven't played much grass, right? But also, I mean, it's just like, look at who's won it lately. I mean, it's been random on the women's side. On the men's side, not everybody who's made the semis, it's not been a predictable semi-final lineup the last few years either. It's a very tricky surface to predict grass. All right, 15-40. Serve into the forehand of Jabeur. And then Tomova hits it deep into the backhand of Jabeur. And then Tomova comes in with a smash. Jabeur puts up a lob. It goes in. As Jabeur back in the rally. Forehand now from Tomova to the backhand of Jabeur. To the backhand of Tomova. Drop shot in the net. And Jabeur breaks back. Great hustle. And she's back on serve. Again. And it's 4-3. 47 minutes this set because of the bit of a medical timeout in the middle. Long first set though. All right. Cool. Oh yeah, don't forget to sub if you haven't already. Oh, man, we hit 250,000 subs just before this tournament, which is crazy. So thank you everybody for sticking around. But yeah, let's see if we can watch some good matches here. I feel like at French Open as well, the first week of the tournament didn't have that many crazy matches. Chat, remind me what was the best match before the quarterfinals at the French? What was the best match? Now that we're like a month removed and we all forget, especially me, I have a goldfish brain. What was the best match in the first week of Roland Garros? Draper versus Monfils was pretty fun. Medvedev Norrie, okay. Yeah, good one. Good pick. What about on the women's side, though? I can't remember. Anyone remember? I don't remember. The final. No, I'm talking about the first week. Week 1. I don't remember. See, look. Yeah, we don't remember. Medvedev versus Norrie is a good pick, though. Runa Ellis, okay. Fils Munar. Was that good? I can't remember. Was that close? That was the. I mean, that was the match that broke Fils physically. What about on the women's side, though? I mean, no women's matches were good in the first week of the French. As Jabeur hits a wide 15-0. I don't remember anything other than the final. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens, right? As long as the final's good, it's a good tournament. I mean, Sabalenka Swiatek semi was good. Vekic Pera, I don't remember that at all. Yeah, man, and I watched it all. We watched all of it, right? As that goes out by Ons. And it's 15:30, I think. They're not updating the score. Kenin Keys, that could be it. 15:30. Hey, Kenin Keys was a good match. Was it Kenin? Yeah, Kenin Keys. That was a great match. That's true. By the way, chat, how many of you went on to look and cheat instead of just doing it off the top of your head? Don't go cheat. Don't go to Wikipedia and look up the matches that were close. I could have done that too. But I didn't because I'm not cheating. We go off the top of your head, what's the answer? Don't go and look it up. Anyways, 30-40. Break point again. Penka was up 5-1, now it's 5-all. Of course it is. All right, first there's a fault, second serve. I was tempted, but I didn't. But Lilia, thank you for your honesty. Goldfish tennis memory, can only remember the finals. Yeah, that's just... there's so many things to think. You can't... it's impossible to know everything. Or to remember everything. You know? All right, 30-40. Serve to the forehand to Tomova. Return goes into the backhand of Jabeur. Tomova, backhand. Into the forehand of Jabeur. Again, the backhand of Tomova. Sliced into the forehand of Jabeur. Tomova backhand again. Goes wide, and it's deuce. Draper Bublik. That was the fourth round. So yeah. I remember not Bublik. Draper Monfils, the first week was pretty fun. That night session match, that was fun. But other than that, Shelton Alcaraz was fun as well in the fourth round. Surprisingly fun, right? As we serve to the forehand of Tomova. Return goes to the forehand of Jabeur. Tomova back into the stretch. And Jabeur forehand down the middle. Tomova puts up a lob, but it's out. And it's advantage Jabeur. I remember Vondi's match was good, but not against who? I can't remember that. Swiatek Raducanu was good. At the French? Yeah. Bublik Demonor? Yeah, that was... Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was a 5-set comeback. True. All right. Jabeur hits it out. We're back to deuce. As we serve again from Ons. The return goes wide. Advantage Jabeur. Advantage Jabeur. Will Fonseca win today? I think he will, but it will be tough. I think Fonseca's match is going to be real tough. Fernley is no joke, especially here, like in the UK. As the return goes in from Tomova, we're back to deuce. We get back to deuce. Svitolina outclassing Bondare. Yeah, that's no surprise. Svitolina could... Let me check the draw. Svitolina could definitely beat Sabalenka and possibly make the semis. I don't think that would be any shock to anybody. I remember everybody how she beat Swiatek here a couple of years ago, made the semis. I think Svitolina... By the way, everyone's thinking that Vondi can beat Sabalenka. Does anyone else think that Vondi beats Kessler and maybe loses to Raducanu? Could that happen? Of course not. Yeah, it could. I think it could. Kessler, by the way, is no joke. Vondi and Kessler, that's a tough first round for Vondi. Kessler also has played well on grass. So Sabalenka might not even have to play Vondrousa in the third. I kind of want Sabalenka Raducanu third round, though. Like, I'd rather have that. Of course you do, Cam, because you're a fan of Raducanu. Yeah. Anyways, that goes over the net by Tomova. But Svitolina Sabalenka fourth round is crazy. Like, that is crazy. The winner plays keys. That would be crazy. I would love that. That would be, I think, the best situation for the tournament. All right, deuce. As we just serve out wide the forehand of Tomova. Down the line at the back end of Tomova. Tomova in the net. Advantage Ons to take this game and level. Buksha won the first set against Tadoni. Also, Penko was up, 5-1? She's down 6-5. Martic won the first set against Parry. Svetolin's up 3-love in the second. Jabeur backhand goes in the forehand to Tomova. Forehand from Jabeur. Goes long, and we're back to deuce. Also, Medvedev 5-5 against Bonzi. And Big Foe won the first set 6-3. By the way, chat, anyone else think Big Foe could make a run? Does anyone else think Tiafoe could make it to the quarterfinals and play Alcaraz? I need to see Rune versus Tiafoe fourth round. I need that. That's the match that I want. That's what I need to see. That's a great match. Winner plays Alcaraz. That's what I want to see. That's the match I want to see. Tiafoe, Rune, winner plays Alcaraz. That's what I want to see. I think that's a great combination of matches. Because that way, Alcaraz has to play one of those guys, and both those guys are tough. And it'll be fun for all fans like us. 4-all, by the way, Ons holds. Big Foe surprisingly gets to the quarters of the French. Grass is way more suited to him. So if he can make the quarters of the French, you think he can make the quarters of Wimbledon. He also pushed Alcaraz to 5 last year, and no one else really did that. No one else did that. That is fun, yeah. What's Rune and Tiafoe head-to-head? They've only played once. And it was a tiebreak third set in Cincinnati last year. 4-6, 6-1, 7-6, Tiafoe won. You don't want 5 sets of that at Wimbledon, chat. You're crazy. Unless you're a fan of Rune or Tiafoe and you don't want that smoke, I respect that. But fourth round, that's a 5-setter. That's a 5-set match. Winner plays Alcaraz. That's crazy. 15 love to Tadoni. I mean, that's an absolute crazy matchup. Foe looking like it's only going to take 3 sets today, I hope. I mean, the quicker for Foe, the better for his tournament, right? Cartel took the first set. God, Penko. Penko did have that knee problem, though. Remember when we watched her play Eala? Chat, do you remember that? Anybody else remember that when we watched Eala? We watched it like a couple of times. Did anyone else? Were you there? Chat, one in the chat if you're there for Eala's matches. We watched it all last week. Like all last week. You might have missed it, though. If you weren't here, you would have missed it. Do you remember? Oh, good. You remembered? Cool. 5-4 Tomova. Good. I was just making sure. Just making sure. But she did have that knee issue against, or that leg issue against Eala, which forced her to retire. So I don't know if that's a problem, or if Penko just lost 5-1 because things. All right, 40 love. Oh, sorry, 5-4 as Tomova leads, and Jabeur's going to have to serve to stay in the set. Who is Eala? I've never heard of her name on stream before. Ha ha ha. Yep. Don't worry, we'll watch her tomorrow. You can learn who she is tomorrow. Because we're going to watch her tomorrow. What about quarterfinal Musetti Sinner? Could Lorenzo win that one? I don't want to see that. Sinner Musetti is, unfortunately, Musetti's no good against Sinner. I want to see Shelton Sinner. That's what I want to see. And I'm not just saying that as a fan of Shelton. I'm saying that because I think it's the best matchup you can have. Humbert Sinner? Okay, maybe. Nakashima Sinner? I don't know, maybe. Shelton Sinner is the best match you can have in that quarterfinal. Also, Musetti might be injured, so that's an issue. But also, Musetti and Sinner, they just don't play, like, it's never, Musetti doesn't play well against Sinner. unfortunately. Shelton, though, on a grass court, if he makes the quarters by not having to play 5 setters. Remember last year, Shelton? I think he played 3 5-setters to play Sinner in the 4th round. Was it Sinner or Alcaraz? I think it was Sinner, right? And he played 3 5-setters to get there. And then he played I think it was Alcaraz. Actually, no, it was Alcaraz, wasn't it? No, it was Shelton. It was Sinner. It was Sinner. And then he didn't get started until the and then the third set went to a tiebreak, but it was too late. Sinner had already pretty much won. So I would love to see. By the way, Shelton and Sinner have played each other a few times, which is interesting. And they played each other 6 times in 2 years or 3 years. They played each other at 2 slams, and I think it would be great. Semi-finals of Australian Open this year they played. They also played Wimbledon last year. I would love to see Shelton versus Sinner. I love Shelton, Chad. Shelton is one of my favorite players. And I would love to see Shelton starting. I mean, he was super impressive against Alcaraz at Roland Garros, which we all were surprised by. I would love to see Shelton take on Sinner in the quarterfinals because I think he would give him a shake. And I reckon he might get a set or two, maybe a set. I think he'd push Sinner. Musetti against Sinner, I don't think is going to be as interesting, especially if Musetti's not 100%. Please stop spamming. All right, 5-5. 5-5. Five all. I'm not a Shelton fan, but is he a huge server like Opelka? He is a big server, but he's also got a good net game as well. As that slice goes out by Jabeur. 15 love. Love. As Tomova wins the point, 30 love. Love. As Tomova serves a fault, second serve. Love. By the way, chat, I'm just trying to... The reason why I haven't put any stream things on yet is because I'm just trying to figure out what the situation is going to be. Of like matchups, because it's a little bit hectic on the first couple of days. It's a bit of juggling. So I'm just trying to figure it out because I don't want to miss Alcaraz. And this match depends on that. All right, 6-5. Tomova leads. Because Sabalenka starts in an hour. But Alcaraz starts in an hour and a half. So, and this match is only just one set. This match might go 3 hours. So I just got to figure it out. Draper will defeat Bublik. Okay. Medi's in a dogfight? Not surprised. Penko lost because of her screaming. Okay. I don't know what that means, runner, but okay. By the way, Chad, I'm going to start calling you by your names on the screen because I've been ignoring it. But I'm going to call you by your usernames because that's what I can see. And if I don't do that, then I won't know who anyone is. And then I won't remember who anyone is. And that's not good for anyone. So if your username is different to your channel name and I'm starting to use your username and you're wondering what the hell's going on, change your username to your channel name. So then it makes it easier for me. Because I can't change your channel name. And I can't change your username on my end. I can only read it. All right, 15 love. Jabeur trying to get to the tiebreak. Serve again from Ons. Here's a fault. Second serve. Serving the forehand to Tomova. Good return to the back of the Jabeur. Forehand from Tomova into the forehand Jabeur on the stretch. Tomova slice into the slice. Jabeur in the nets. 15 all. Musetti and Badosa, as soon as they start losing, injury pain is coming up. Well, they are injured before they even start this tournament. So, I mean, don't be too harsh. All right. Jabeur with an ace, 30-15. As Tomova gets the 30 all. As with a slice into the forehand Jabeur. Backhand slice from Tomova to the forehand Jabeur. Tomova puts up a lob. And Jabeur with a smash in the net. We've got break point, 30-40. Break point, set point for Tomova. All right, set point. Jabeur serves out wide the back of the Tomova. Return goes front of Jabeur. Tomova forehand slice. Into the forehand slice of Jabeur. Tomova with his backhand slice. Jabeur backhand is a drop shot winner. She gets to deuce. All right. Glad it's a day off for Alex. She needs all the rest she can get. Yeah, I mean, tomorrow she plays first. Well, first match center court tomorrow, so there won't be too much rest. There'll be nerves. All right, deuce. Darren, that's you. All right, return goes in the forehand Jabeur. Down the line is a winner from Ons, and it's advantage Ons. How do you think Zhang will go in today's Open? I don't know if Zhang will do that well. She hasn't really got any grass court. Like, she had a good grass court run in Queen's Club a couple of weeks ago, but she hasn't got any real grass court, results. So it's hard to know what she's going to do here. She could lose first round. She could win to the quarterfinals. It's hard to judge. Anyways, Jabeur gets to the tiebreak. 6-6. This set's gone for a long time because it's been a hot day. And they had a medical timeout. And it's all happening. All right. Who you got winning the tiebreak? As we serve out wide the forehand Jabeur. Slice from Tomova in the net. One love Jabeur. You figure out who I am? Yes. All right. One love Jabeur with the mini break. As the return goes into the forehand of Jabeur. Forehand now from Tomova to the slice of Jabeur. Tomova with a drop shot. And Ons gets it with a drop shot back that hit the tape and went in. All right, 2 love. Or was it out? Did it go out? No, it was out. I thought Ons thought it was in. Hawkeye said no. 1-1. 1-1. As the return goes into the forehand of Jabeur, but Tomova hit it long. No, sorry, Jabeur hit it long. Tomova hit it in. Okay. 2-1 Tomova. 3 mini breaks in a row. So Medvedev lost the first set. That's crazy. Is it scheduled out for tomorrow? I don't think so. Double fault from Tomova, 2-2. By the way, Penko's up 3-love in the second. Lehechka's up 5-2 in the second after losing the first set. As Tomova hits a lovely shot down the line. Slice from Ons goes long. 3-2 Tomova. Tiafoe's up a set and a break. And we have our first winner of the day, Svitolina. First winner of Wimbledon is Alina Svitolina. There you go. Svitolina is the first winner of the championships. Serve to the backhand of Tomova, backhand from Jabeur. Into the forehand of Tomova, sliced into the forehand of Jabeur as Tomova on the stretch, puts up a lob. Let it go. Oh, it goes in. Jabeur with a smash, winner. 3-all, they change ends. Three. Medvedev losing first set all the time. Yep, brutal. Okay, 3-all. Tomova had a set point if you're just joining us. Before Jabeur saved it and got to the tiebreak. A lot of breaks in this first set as well, and medical timeout for Ons as well. The weather is hot. There's a backhand slice from Jabeur in the backhand of Tomova. Jabeur backhand. Into the forehand. Tomova sliced. Into the backhand of Jabeur, who hits a drop shot winner. 4-3. Ons 4-3. How many screens do I have to follow the tennis? 2. Ons is not feeling great this match. She is struggling. That is true. She'll be struggling less if she wins the first set, though. All right, 4-3. Serving to the forehand of Jabeur. Backing out from Tomova to the forehand of Jabeur as Tomova forehand is wide. 5-3. 5-3 to Ons. Craziness of matches already loading. What is this? This is what a Grand Slam tennis make the tennis greatest? Yeah. How do you do triple headers if you only have 2 screens? Well, we don't do triple headers because triple headers are garbage. We did a triple header like once, and it was the worst. We do yeah. I don't like double headers. That goes in the net from Jabeur. Double headers are tough and frustrating for everybody and for me. Triple headers, we did that once, I think, at the Australian Open. It was just a mess. We might have to do some double headers this week, but that's just the way it is. Mega streams are garbage too. Because there's just you can't watch 5 matches at once and do them justice, you know what I'm saying? As Jabeur hits it out 5-5. Like the thing with double, and I know this from doing them so many times. But if we're doing a triple header, 2 matches are getting ignored, or at all times, and that's not fair, you know. 5-5, and that's what I try to avoid. That's why we do double headers very sparingly this year, because I don't want to watch one match half-heartedly. As Jabeur hits a forehand, but it goes out, and Tomova's got another set point, 6-5. Today we're gonna have to do double headers because there's matches that I want to watch on multiple courts, so we have to do it. But triple headers are terrible. Like we did that a couple of times. I think once or twice, and it's just like I was just looking all over the place, and I was covering like 1 point every game, and that's not good. I don't think that's good. Drop shot into the slice of Jabeur. Jabeur hits it long, and Tomova wins the first set 7-6. We did that. We did it for like Alcaraz. What was it? Alcaraz, Sinner, and Kyrgios, right? And we barely watched the Kyrgios match anyway. You know, so yeah, we've got to I'd rather I don't know. I just also it's very tiring. Watching 2 matches at once is very tiring. Like right now, I can take a break because they're taking a break. But when we're watching 3 matches at once, it's like, you just don't know where to. You can't stop. You can't. There's no stopping. I remember you did a mega stream in the early days. You had like 5 matches at once. Crazy. Yeah, but I didn't watch them all. Like the mega stream was different because we had 5 scores on the screen, but I didn't watch all 5 matches. We just had them on the screen for them people to like keep up to date. But it had nothing, like I didn't watch 5 matches at once. I would have watched 2 matches, maybe 3. And then like tuning into one match randomly if it was something happened, But I didn't watch. There's no way that I can watch 5 matches at the same time, and give a good analysis of what's going on. Like that's the hard part. It's trying to. Again, like I said, 2 matches at once. Okay, you can kind of switch between 2 screens, but any more than that, I just feel like I can't keep up. Do you think Ons is still going to win? It's going to be tough. She's going to have to come back, and it's very hot out there and very tiring. So physically, can she come back? That's the big question. But yeah, we're going to do a doubleheader probably today because Sabalenka and Alcaraz are playing on 2 different courts. Where's Mia? She's asleep. All right. Cam avoids doubleheaders unless the Eala plays. Yeah, Jarav, you complain too much. All right. First set goes to Tomova. 2 matches are enough for sure. Yeah. Any more? I mean, like I said, we've done a triple header here and there, but again, I don't like doing double headers unless it's absolutely essential. Like on the first day of a slam, we have to do them. Anyways, good forehand there from Tomova, 15-0. As a return goes the backhand of Jabeur, backhand out from Tomova into the front of Jabeur. Jabeur in the net, 15-30. 15-30. As Jabeur serves again. Second serve. Forehand now to the back of Tomova. Jabeur forehand again to the back of Tomova. Into the front of Jabeur. Jabeur hits it out, 15-40. Cam and Chat need a heat break too? Nah. It's all good. It's not that hot. My house is cold. It's cold here. All right, 15-40. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Will Ons retire? I don't think so. Not at the moment. There's a bit of return now to the front of Jabeur. Jabeur hits it wide, and Tomova does break. And it's a set and a break for Tomova. All right. Tomova 1-love in the second. Ons has asthma, and this type of abnormal heat in England is not good for that. Well, yeah, hopefully it doesn't force her to retire. I mean, she looks better than after the medical timeout. She looks a lot better. She doesn't look like she's sore, so that's good. She doesn't look as fatigued, but still. Now she has to come back from a set and a break down. That's not fun. All right, so chat. Next, what we're going to do is Sabalenka's coming on in a little bit. So what we'll do is because Alcaraz versus Fognini is a best of 5, we might have to join that late because we can't do 3 matches at once, or I don't want to do 3 matches at once. So if this match still is going when those matches are going, then we'll get to the Alcaraz match a little late. We did that at Roland Garros. We got to the Alcaraz match when we were forced on day 2 to watch something. We'll get to the Alcaraz match eventually. And look, it's best of 5. So, they could play, if they play 3 sets, we're going to at least make it to the second set. So this match won't go into the second set of a Alcaraz match. I don't think. I hope not. That would be annoying. So that's what we'll do. I've made my decision. That is what we'll do. And ideally, this match ends and we can watch Sabalenka and then watch Alcaraz together. The two of the favorites. And then we can watch whatever else comes on after that. Forehand goes in the backhand lob of Jabeur. Backhand out from Tomova. Again, the backhand Jabeur sliced. Drop shot. Tomova gets it again. Jabeur with a backhand volley winner. And it's 30-all. So that's the plan. You can join Alcaraz's match. Come on, Cam. What are you yelling at me for? I just said we're going to watch Alcaraz. We will watch Alcaraz. What are you getting upset for? I said we're going to watch Alcaraz. Hello? And then we got Fonseca Fernley. Then we got Raducanu. No matter what you do, a phenomenal job, Cam. Thank you. Appreciate that. Backhand goes into the forehand of Jabeur. Forehand from Tomova in net. 30-40. Breakback point. $30-40. Fernley's a solid player. Yeah, that's why we're going to watch Fonseca Fernley. Because that is a match. 30-40. Serve to the backhand Jabeur. Return goes backhand of Tomova. It's a down the line backhand winner. And we get back to deuce. I think he missed the whole we don't do triple headers anymore discussion. No. We don't need to do a triple header. Because this match, like I said, this match is not going to go into the middle of the Alcaraz match. The Alcaraz match starts in like an hour, and this match, if it goes for 2 hours, yeah, okay, the Alcaraz match might be a set down, but yeah. Eala plays tomorrow. Eala will play tomorrow. And we will be watching her tomorrow. Play tomorrow. In her match tomorrow. Day 2. All right. Forehand goes in the backhand of Jabeur. Drop shot is too good. We're back to deuce. We get back to deuce. Tomova serves. Into the backhand Jabeur. Return goes back into Tomova. Jabeur backhand slice. Into the backhand Tomova. Tomova hits it wide. Advantage Ons to take the break. To take back the break. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Still trying to get over Eala's last match. Yeah, that was a crazy match. All right, second serve Tomova. As the return goes back in Tomova, back in over Eala. Oh, chat. That was on you. That was your fault. Dan, I'm blaming you. You said Eala. It got me confused. Jabeur hits it out. It's back to deuce. That was on you. I'm not taking that one. That was Chad, don't distract me with other matches. We're talking about this match, all right? Otherwise, I'll get confused. I already am confused enough. No speaking of other players while we're watching this player. We're trying to be professional. God damn it. All right. Deuce. That goes out by Ons Jabeur, and it's advantage Tomova. Yeah, it's day one of Wimbledon. Let's all just relax. Advantage Tomova. As Tomova serves a fault second serve. Jabeur's ranking's like 60, 50 something. Back into the line from Tomova. 2-love. Solid hold. Solid hold. Jabeur retired? Nope. She definitely... Oh, she just did. Oh, Thomas, that's a foul. That's a foul. Thomas, can you never do that again? That's called ruining it, and you ruined it. Jabeur retired. Why? Why'd you go do that, bro? Bro, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Come on now. Spoiler alert, I know, right? Come on, bro. No spoilers. Literally spoiled it. Ons retired. That sucks. That sucks. It was a physical start. It was a physical match. Ons has to retire. GG's. Well, not really, but Tomova's into the next round, so good for her. She just dealt with the conditions better. And Ons it's just a physical... It was just too physical, that match. Well, that was just too physical. Things were just too physical. But Tomova's into the second... Whoops. Tomova's into the second round. Not sure who Tomova's going to play, but Tomova is into the second round. And the lady in pink is getting photos, and she is hanging out with her favorite player. All right. Now, we've got 30 minutes. Well, now we don't have to worry about missing Alcaraz. We'll watch Alcaraz on time. Yeah, Ons retired. She had a medical time at the first set for fatigue, it looked like, or some sore, like it wasn't a soreness or an injury. It was just, it's a brutal day out there today. She was struggling physically. But now it's going to be Tomova getting to the second round. Now Tomova's going to take on possibly Ostapenko. So we don't get that Jabeur-Penko match. It's a little bit disappointing, but Tomova versus Penko could be a thing if Penko comes back and wins. Now, other matches, by the way, Vekic just won her match against Birrell, which is disappointing for an Australian point of view. Man, the Aussies are getting smacked today. This sucks. Australia's in trouble. O'Connell and Thompson are both down. Tiafoe's serving for a 2-6-love lead. And Lehechka's up to is 1-set-all now. Medvedev trying to fight back. Tien's up a set and a break. Yeah. Ons needs to get as much rest as she can till her next match. Well, she's not playing, so she's out. She retired. But yeah, we got 30 minutes of Sabalenka, so we got some time now to just chill. Heat's not the issue. Definitely was the issue today. My joint going to play Wimbledon? Yeah, she's going to play Samsonova tomorrow. I'm betting on Dart so that one Aussie go and win today, okay? Dart's not Aussie. But yeah. So it's disappointing that Ons 2 years ago made the final, back-to-back years, and now she unfortunately couldn't get through the first round. Physically couldn't get through the first round, which is a bit of a shame. But hopefully it's nothing too serious and she can go to the US Open Series and play a solid season there on the hard courts again and regroup and hopefully recapture some the magic. One set all with Penko. Okay. Can you please indicate this in the score chart which player retired? I feel like I'm doing that. Desmond, are you like behind the times in the chat, or like are you watching the live? I feel like it's literally showing that right now. I can't show it any differently. Right? The player in red is retired because it says retired and red, and it's red and red. Is that? I feel like that's pretty clear. Is it not clear? Maybe you're just behind the streams. Prediction from Petra Martic. I said she's going to be really good as a qualifier. Bolter Badosa could be a banger. Yeah, but I don't think Badosa is going to make it. You know? I think that's everyone's worried about Badosa's fitness levels, you know? All right. All right. All right, chat. Now we have time to wait until the next one, which is weird because usually this doesn't happen this early in the tournament. Yeah, Ons retired. I didn't see the red having a stressful. Oh, that's all right, Desmond. No worries. I thought maybe you weren't. Maybe the stream was delayed. Lehechka did lose the first set. Sadly, I feel that Ons hasn't been able to get back in shape due to multiple injuries. Yeah, the injuries have definitely been a problem. Injuries for sure have been an issue. Capriva and Tien winners. You know it's best of 5, right? Like, if it's 2 sets of love, that's not over, right? We do realize that. I know. It takes a couple of days to get used to. Good time to talk about movies. Okay, Sonera, you start. What movie? Feel for Ons, that 23 Grand Slam hoarder. Yeah, that was rough. Why don't they just withdraw and give other players a chance? Because Jabeur probably didn't feel shitty before she started. I think. But it was a long first set, and halfway through the long first set, I think that was where she had the medical timeout. I think she got sore there. Did you eat all the M&Ms? No, I'm trying not to eat them all. Can you please bring back the flags? All right. I'm only going to talk about this once. We're not going to bring back the flags. One, because I think the scoreboard looks better this way, but also. It just, it's for 3 years. It's been just a constant thing that has been brought up, and people are asking questions that they know the answers to, but they're just trying to start trouble. So, and the last couple of weeks, it's just gotten to a whole new level. So we're getting rid of all the flags because people are just bringing it. It invites trolls, right? It invites people to come in here and try and like make up, try and bring in political issues. And, I don't want to give anyone a reason to talk about that. So we're getting rid of the flags. We're doing the scoreboard like this because it looks better anyway. I think it looks better. Yeah. Just because and then when trolls come in and then they try and, make trouble, then everyone gets annoyed and then it just makes it for a worse chat experience. So that's why the flags are gone and they're not coming back, because it just makes things too messy, And Deb has enough to do. I have enough to do. You guys don't want people coming in here trying to start trouble. So we're not going to invite trouble, And I think the scoreboard looks better this way anyway. That's why I changed it. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't have changed it. The flags are on around the courts. Yeah, but that's out of my control. That's that is what it is. I mean, I can't change that. I can only change as much as I can. By the way, that's working now, which is great. So there you go. You can see what's going on. People can't be ignored. Not when it's like, not constantly. It's like it's been 3 years of just like, why? And it's just like, let's just get rid of all the flags. Get rid of all the flags. It's just annoying. We know where people are from if you watch tennis. Also, tennis, unless it's Davis Cup, is not really a country versus country thing. It's an individual sport. It's not a team sport. So playing for your country, yeah, it's important, but it's not like do or die for tennis, It's the number 1 versus the number 5. It's number 2. It's more about the seeds and the numbers and the rankings than it is about who plays who, what players play, what countries are playing each other. Yeah, there's banter between countries and stuff, but also it's not important. I don't think it's as important, and it's not worth the trouble that it brings. I mean, Greggs, you come here all the time. You've seen it. It just invites. I feel like it just invites people to just want to talk about boring things that I don't want to talk about. I'm a little bothered by that the checkbox isn't aligned with the numbers. Ha ha ha. Yeah, okay. Well, just relax, all right? I'm doing my best. I can't do everything. Let me I am one man trying to do as much as I can. If it's a little off center, that's too bad. I hate it too, but I can't help it. It annoys me now you've pointed it out. Thank you for pointing it out. Now I'm freaking out. You're triggering my OCD. All right, Chad, I'm going to send you over the next one. We've got Sabalenka coming up, taking on Brandstein. So I know Greggs. I don't know anything about Brandstein. You're Canadian. You're going to be at my go-to. So hopefully you know who she is, because I have no idea. She's a qualifier from, I think, University of Texas, or she went to college in the college scene. She's a quali here. So we're gonna go through and find out who this Canadian is playing Sabalenka, and if she's ever going to be a threat. Is there anything to worry about? Has Sabalenka got a problem? I don't know. We'll find out. Sabalenka hasn't lit the world on fire in the grass this year yet, so we'll see. But Tomova wins. Unfortunately, Ons is out. She unfortunately has to retire from the match, but Tomova's into the second round. We'll find out. We'll get some results coming in as well. We'll start talking about them in the next match as well. But Sabalenka, come up next.